Welcome to Divorce at Altitude, a podcast on Colorado family law. I'm Ryan Kalamaya. Each week, along with my business partner and co host, Amy Goscha, or an expert, we discuss a particular topic related to divorce or co parenting in Colorado. In addition, we have created a short series of lessons that will take you through the legal process of divorce and answer your questions, from simple to complex. Divorce isn't easy. The end of a marriage, especially when children are involved, brings a great deal of loss and change. We hope these practical tips and insights will help you on your journey to a new and better life. In this episode, I offer some general tips and things to consider when you're formulating a parenting schedule and parenting plan for newborns, toddlers, and young children. You can look at childcustodyexchange.com for some of additional information. First, newborns. As a father of two, I can tell you that there is a distinct difference between your first newborn and your second newborn. Not only are the children different, but just your general experience is going to be different. So, when you're formulating a parenting plan, there's probably going to be a significant difference if this is your first newborn or it's your second or third and it's not your first trip to the rodeo. Generally speaking, babies need consistency. So your plan should allow your baby to have a predictable routine for sleeping, waking, and eating. Babies have limited capacity to remember. So your plan should give your baby frequent contact with both parents. Babies change and grow rapidly. Your plan should have a way for parents to communicate about the baby's development. One thing to consider is having a logbook. This is especially important for those first-time newborn parents. Having a particular feeding schedule and logging it. When did you feed the baby? When did you change the diaper? So that when the other parent takes over, they understand what has happened during the other parent's parenting time. If a baby is breastfeeding, you should consider, are overnights really going to happen for the father? There's just some physiological issues that you're going to have to resolve. The following schedules could be considered when you're dealing with a newborn in a divorce: a 2-2-3 alternating every 2 days, a 5-2 schedule, or every third day schedule. These schedules require a number of exchanges, but that's the point, right? You want to have frequent contact with the baby for both parents. But on the other hand, you need to take into consideration that babies, although they can't articulate their what they're picking up, they do sense fear, and conflict during parenting exchanges is not good for you and your baby. Many of these observations also hold true for toddlers. Toddlers do well with predictable schedules. Toddlers are very curious and develop new physical skills constantly. Toddlers can have strong attachment to particular caregivers. Every parent can relay some sort of example of a toddler clinging to their leg and crying. You need to think about, how are you going to address that during parenting exchanges? Because toddlers are sensitive to tension and anger. So your plan needs to provide a way for parents to work out disagreements so that your toddler isn't around conflict. Like babies, toddlers grow and develop rapidly. So your plan should have a mechanism to modify and change your plan as your baby or toddler gets older. What your baby's schedule is at 18 months is going to be drastically different when they're 3 years old. How do you modify your parenting plan to reflect those changes? As I suggested before, many toddlers are fearful of change, and they have a difficult time with transitions between parents' homes. Your plan could include provisions about exchanges and drop-offs so they aren't upsetting to your toddler. A common provision for a toddler is that the person with the parent or with the child drops off at the other parent's house. Toddlers remember people and events, and they need frequent contact with both parents. One thing to consider is to have a daily FaceTime or some sort of video chat with the other parent. But you want to put a particular time so that that time is, everyone understands that that is when you're going to do FaceTime. And you're going to keep it pretty short, because Toddlers aren't going to spend all day FaceTiming with the other parent, or at least they shouldn't. You need to be mindful about respecting the parent that has the child and their opportunity to spend quality time. The toddler shouldn't be on FaceTime with the other parent during the entirety of the other parent's parenting time. Another thing to consider is putting pictures of the other parent in your toddler's bedroom. Okay, let's move on to preschoolers. Preschoolers, like babies and toddlers, do well with consistency and predictability. Preschoolers can become attached to regular caregivers, so your plan should allow your preschooler to spend frequent time with both parents. Preschoolers often have trouble moving between homes. Your preschooler may be upset when switching between parents, but then they get settled in and happy once they've been with that parent after a particular time. Preschoolers are going to benefit from being around other children, so you need to make sure that you're in alignment with the other parent about daycare or some sort of preschool to make sure that your child has social opportunities. Preschoolers go through a lot of development change. So you need to figure out a way to adjust your plan to accommodate your preschooler's new development. Thanks for listening or watching this short lesson on the Divorce at Altitude podcast. If you found this helpful, please leave a review or share with a friend. It does help for others that are going through or thinking about a divorce in Colorado. If you want to find out more information, please visit kalamaya.law or divorceataltitude.com, and that's KALAMAYA.law. Remember, this is educational information. It's not intended to be legal advice. Please consult with an attorney about the particulars of your case. We're happy to answer questions. Feel free to give us a call at 970 315 2365.